Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Normieville. Before we get started, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and the notification bell. I appreciate your participation, all right? Stephen A. Smith, the bombastic, outspoken flagship anchor for ESPN, has came out and defended Jerry Jones over a photo that has surfaced from 1957. Now, you all know Jerry Jones as the famous owner of the Dallas Cowboys, the pseudo GM, okay, and sometimes I would say coach. Stephen A. Smith gives him a lot of free publicity. Stephen A. Smith always says what can happen will happen. He talks about the Cowboys all the time. They seem to be very good friends, all right? But Stephen A. Smith has caught backlash for defending Jerry Jones, as Jerry Jones has caught backlash for this photo, and we're going to talk about it here in just a second, all right? Let's go to the article here from Complex. All right, it reads here, Stephen A. Smith defends Jerry Jones over 1957 Arkansas desegregation protest photo. Now, before I get into the article, I want to show you real quick the picture of Jerry Jones. Now, if you see it right here on your screen, this is Jerry Jones. They have him circled right there. Should be a black and white photo. And they have him pictured here in this desegregation protest in Arkansas. He looks like a young man in this photo. And in this article, it's going to explain what's going on in this photo and Stephen A. Smith's defense of his friend. Okay? Let's get started. It says here, Stephen A. Smith has defended Jerry Jones after a photo from 1957 showed him among a group of white young men blocking the path of black students attempting to desegregate the Arkansas school, who went on to be known as the Little Rock Nine. Quote, I'm pretty pissed off, Smith said on a recent First Take segment, discussing the newly surfaced photo of the Dallas Cowboys owner when he was 14. Quote, I'm pissed off, but not for the reasons people think. I'm very, very fond of Jerry Jones. We know this. And I'm not hiding that from anybody. Is his record perfect? No. But I'm pissed off because he doesn't deserve what just happened. He doesn't deserve it. One report, our report, said he was 14 years old. Another report said he was 15 years old. At the minimum, that is 65 years ago. Now, of course, Stephen A. Smith is breaking down some of the facts about this matter. The report says that he was a young man, 14, 15 years old. This was 1957, a long time ago, back in some very troubling times. All right? But I believe what Stephen A. Smith is going to insinuate here is that this happened a long time ago, right? That is the sentiment we're going to kind of see, read, and hear, all right? The photo was taken 65 years ago on September 9th, 1957 at North Little Rock High in Arkansas. Quote, you're going to bring up a photo of Jerry Jones standing at this protest. No question what was happening. It's not something that anybody as a black person should be appreciative about. He continued, we had 6 students at that particular North Little Rock High School. That was trying to desegregate the school. Nobody should be okay with that. We understand that. We get all of that. Racism is alive and well. Bigotry and prejudice is alive and well. We get all of that. But you're going to bring up a photo of him when he was 14, 15 years old? 65, 66 years ago. As you can see here, the sentiment is that, you know what, this happened a long time ago. Why are we penalizing Jerry Jones now in 2022? And this happened in 1957, right? So he's defending his friend like, you know what? He's changed now. Of course, he has black friends. You know, he owns a football team that employs black people, that's making them millions and millions of dollars, right? He has a whole ecosystem around his franchise. What would make him racist now? He was younger then. That's going to say, they're going to insinuate that he was younger then too, and that all that into account, we should not be canceling him for this photo, okay? So now I'm going to play the video via Stephen A. Smith's Twitter page from a segment of First Take and let you hear Stephen A. Smith's defense. So hold on just a second. So here's the video. I'm going to play it real quick, and then I will read a couple more snippets from the article, and then we're going to talk about Stephen A. Smith's backlash and Jerry Jones' backlash. So listen up.
I'm pretty pissed off. And let me say this. I'm pissed off, but not for reasons that people would think. I'm very, very fond of Jerry Jones, and I'm not hiding that from anybody. Is his record perfect? No. But I'm pissed off because he doesn't deserve what just happened.
By the way, this is from First Take. I'm pretty sure there's a cut of this on ESPN. So fair use, YouTube, fair use.
He doesn't deserve it. One report, our report said he was 14 years old. Yeah. Another report said he was 15 years old. At minimum, that's 65 years ago. You're going to bring up a picture of Jerry Jones standing at this protest. No question what was happening is not something that anybody as a black person should be appreciative about. We had 6 students at that particular North Little Rock High School that was trying to desegregate the school.
No one should be okay with it.
Nobody should be okay with that.
Okay, so that's true. We shouldn't be okay with that, especially in that time. We shouldn't be okay with anything like that if it happens today. So with that being said, right?
Regardless of
we
race.
understand that. We get all of that. We also understand what we as black people and as black folks, black men have to deal with. And by the way, to some degree, we still deal with a lot of things, and we all know it. Racism is alive and well. Bigotry and prejudice is alive and well. We get all of that. But you're going to bring up a photo of him when he was 14, 15 years old, 65 or 66 years ago. This is where cancer culture gets into the mix, and you're making an attempt to eradicate him, what he stands for, and all he has done.
Yes, I can also agree. Cancel culture is coming into play here. That is correct.
By the way, I don't have a problem with the photo. I don't have a problem. If he was 30, 35, 40 years old, that's different.
Right.
14, 15 years old. 14, 15 years old.
Right.
But we're going to lean on somebody when he was 14, born and raised in the South, and we're going to pick it up 66 years later to say, you know something?
Yeah.
You ain't hire a black coach. I think that's pretty low. I really, really do. I think that part is pretty low. If he were an adult, that would be different.
And you know, for some logic and reason here, he was young, allegedly, when this photo was taken, 14, 15. If you're 35, he's a grown man. Maybe it will be it's possible it could be a different conversation.
But a 14, 15-year-old kid raised in the South who literally is just standing there looking, and we use that to bring up in the year 2022. Oh, this is where you are. You got to explain this.
There you go, right? There you go. Now, let me read this last paragraph, then I'm going to get into the backlash to the opinions of the black community and of the sports world in general. Here it is. The following publication of this story this week, Jones fielded the question over the photo and said he was there because he was curious about what was going on. Quote, I didn't know at the time the monumental event really that was going on, Jones said per ESPN. Quote, I'm sure glad that we're a long way from that. I am. That would remind me to just continue to do everything we can to not have those kinds of things happen again. Now, Jerry Jones seems to be remorseful of what happened. Okay. He's given accountability, said, yes, I was there, but I wasn't aware of the event that was going on at the time. And I can only hope that I will do everything in my power to make sure that we never go back to something like that. All good. We understand it. Here's the deal, everybody. The backlash that's coming, I'm sure if you go on your Twitter sphere, you will be able to see all of the backlash, the comments from not just this video, but others. And the deal is that this right here, and for one, I'm going to go with Jerry Jones, okay? Because, of course, there's this whole thing about black coaches in the NFL, and they're saying that, okay, well, if you got, all this going on in the back, you was at this event, blah, blah, and we know that you was there, okay, this 65 years ago, so I'm sure by now you understand where you were at that time. So why aren't you doing more to help the black community, to help black coaches and black players and black owners, all that kind of stuff, right? Because, of course, people are looking for a handout, especially the black community. I'm going to leave that subject for another day because I'm black myself. But in any case, A lot of people are saying, oh, well, Jerry Jones, you was there, you should atone for this and all that kind of stuff, right? You should, just like they did Kyrie Irving, right? We should, you should go give some money to the NAACP. You should have to go meet with the Black Caucus, and you should go give an apology to all black people, okay? And a lot of people are saying that because of what happened to Kyrie, that we should give Jerry Jones the Kyrie Irving, Kanye West treatment. And this is the other backlash that's Stephen A. Smith is getting. And they're saying, you had all this ire and smoke and criticism of Kyrie Irving when he was getting blasted by the small hat community. He was getting blasted by Shaquille O'Neal and Charles Barkley, and everybody else was defending Kyrie Irving's punishment. Now, some walked it back and said, okay, well, because those 6 stipulations and all that hoops he had to walk through, that was a bit much after they blasted him. And this is the thing about Stephen A. Smith. They're saying, oh, well, now all of a sudden you want to, give Jerry Jones a hug and say, well, that was a long time ago. Well, people get canceled all the time for stuff they did back in the past. So why does Jerry Jones get a pass? That's what pretty much everybody's saying. That, Stephen A. Smith, you have harsh, heavy, swift criticism for everybody else when they do something wrong. And now you want to put the criticism for Jerry Jones on cruise control. Now you want to, oh, that's my friend, and no, he's not like that, and he was 14. People have been canceled for less. People have had to sell their teams for less. People have lost their careers in sports for less. Okay? Now, me personally, 2 things can be true. All right? Stephen A. Smith, sometimes his criticism of people do seem a little bit one-sided and sometimes hypocritical. But he has a point here. This did happen 65 years ago, and this man was young at the time. Don't get me wrong. A lot of people in that time that were racist, whatever, they were being groomed early. So at that time, maybe he had a different thought process. It's possible. There are a lot of people that have changed their ways since that time. But again, Stephen A. Smith has a point. Cancel culture is bad, and it shouldn't be tolerated anywhere. Now, do people deserve to get punished for something they did wrong? If it was legitimately wrong and they didn't get consequences for it, absolutely. But to say somebody should be canceled for something that they've already been remorseful for, something that's not really consequential, is another story. So I agree with Stephen A. Smith, but I also the people that are got a criticism for Stephen A. Smith, I believe they do have a point. And I believe Jerry Jones has a point. This did happen a long time ago. He says that he didn't know what was going on. He was young then. He does have a bit of an excuse here, I guess. Whether you normies out there, whether y'all want to be for it or against it, I'll leave that for you to debate in the comment section, okay? So I'm done talking about it, yo. Thank you for attending another episode of Normieville. Like, share, and subscribe. Tell me what you think down in the comment section. Please hit the like, share, subscribe on your way out. I'm just a normie trying to give you the news in sports, politics, and current events. And I will see you on the next video.